Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another LOL dev update. So a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, we were doing quite a lot of these because Riot, I guess maybe like during lockdown or something, they had a lot of time to like update their existing systems and write these kind of like updates to us, the player, which I welcome. It's really good to hear from the developers of what they're planning and what they're actually doing about the issues in the game. But there haven't been one that I made a video on the last few weeks. I think they've maybe done a couple more articles, but none piqued my interest enough to make a video. Well, this one piqued my interest. You know, it's behavioral systems August update. So it's like legit about all the issues about the inting and toxicity that we've mentioned. What are they doing? What have they, what's happening? And really, you can see here, before we even get into it, is sharing our changes coming in the next few patches. So this is actually going to be affecting the game soon. So that's good. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, we're back with another monthly update, so they are doing them monthly, on our progress towards improving League's behavioural systems. As usual, we would like to give some insight into the team, what have they been working on and all that. So, yeah. In July, we called out specific areas around disruptive behaviour that we would like to focus on, and that was intent to lose actions or leaving or idling or AFKing in the game. These included intentionally feeding opponents, sabotaging through gameplay actions, so griefing, soft inting and stuff, intentionally leaving the game, quitting, going idle, AFK in the game, or game disconnect, so like rage quitting in general. Our goals are to reduce occurrences of the above behaviours in all queues and mitigate the impact of to players when they experience disruptive players in their games. So saying that, hey, when you have a toxic person in your game, we don't want you to feel the impact. How do you do that, right? That's something straight away in my mind. Like, the only way they could genuinely do probably that is something that I think Riot themselves have said they cannot do. And it's something that the community has always called for is, oh, I've got an AFKer on my team. Why am I losing rating? That's the thing that always people say. It's not fair. If we lose the game 5v5, fair enough. But he went AFK. Why do I lose rating? Maybe it was a winnable game. So how do you mitigate people griefing in your games? In my mind, the only way of doing actual mitigating the damage, and that's what they're saying here, is making the impact less on people's ratings, which I think even again, Riot, I think they've said they've never planned to do that, but here we go. So they're going to go through topic by topic. Intentional feeding and AFKing. So after hundreds of depressing manual VOD reviews and verification exercises, we think we're in a good enough place to start getting improvements to how we detect intentionally feeding and AFK behaviors out for testing. These changes will allow us to identify these behaviors at double the rate we are currently, take action against those who negatively, behaviors more consistently, and let players know when we've caught negative behaviors in their games and work towards alleviating that pain. So that little message that pops up saying, hey, someone you reported has had a punishment. I'd say this is all obviously positive stuff. It's never going to be a bad thing. But I will say, there has been examples, throughout the years that does make me, question how good their detection even is. And hopefully they're saying we are improving it and that's good. But there have been people that have made accounts and, people have shown these on Reddit and Twitter and stuff of examples. They've linked their op.ggs of accounts like literally called IAFK now, and it's a guy that literally starts the game and just stays AFK every single game for over 100 games of SOLOQ, doesn't get a ban. Or a guy that ints every game, literally has a summoner name like I run down mid, and that's what they do over 100 games of SOLOQ, and they haven't been punished. So again, hopefully improvements do get made, because surely they should have been picked up even with a worse system. They should have got picked up instantly, but apparently they didn't. So that does show how maybe bad the system was before at detecting, these type of behaviors. But it is really good to hear that they are trying to do something about it. Our first detection improvements are already live in current patch. We are on patch 10.15 now, but we'll continue to push new iterations across the next couple of patches. We're working towards a world where we detect these behaviors as they occur, mitigate them for the players affecting during those games, and take action against offenders immediately after the game. So again, how do you mitigate the damage of these trolls and inters and AFKs during the game? The only way you do that is you either, one, give them a reroll, remake. 10 minutes into the game, your mid laner is trolling, is 0 and 10, just running and inting. Oh, a little pop-up comes going, we have detected an intentional feeder on your team. Do you want to remake? Vote. Boom. Same as the remake system at 3 minutes into the game, which is still a little bit like questionable how that works. But maybe that's something they could do. We've detected an inter. Would you like to remake? Obviously, you have to be careful with abuse cases. You know, you couldn't have if you're duo queuing, maybe it's disabled in terms of duo queuers because all you could have is a Smurf duo queuing with their friend. Oh, snap, this game's going bad. I'll start inting so you can have a free remake, right? People would do that 100%. So there would have to be like ways to stop it being abused, but that's one way. Or, literally in the chat in the bottom left, we have detected an inter in your game. You will not lose any LP for this game, or you will lose less LP for this game. At least then people who are playing it are like, oh, okay, that's good at least. That's the only way I right now see how you mitigate for the affected players in the game. How else do you do it? Again, if you've got an idea, put it in the comments down below. But that's good. Overall, that's good. Next is AFK and idling. So if we're detecting disruptive behavior more often, how we are actioning against it. In order to reduce the overall footprint of idle and AFK behavior in League, we outlined a few options that tackle the goals of. We'll say Season 10, 100%. I've played this game since Season 1, 100%. And I don't know if Riot have obviously the official data. I don't know if they'll ever release it. Surely there is more AFKers in this season than any other in League. I can't be the only one that has been experiencing that. Again, let me know what your experience is in Season 10. There are so many AFKers in League in Season 10. It's insane. And maybe, again, who knows? Maybe it's because what the world is going through, people's mental with also dealing with that is like, I just can't deal with this LOL game. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Maybe. I don't know. Preventing the behavior from occurring again. Deterring the behavior from occurring in the first place. So having maybe penalties firmly in place. If you AFK, this is going to happen. Mitigating the impact. So again, helping the players out that are affected by the people that are AFKing in their games. We're looking to dig into the more following solutions. So here we go. If you've got an AFKer in the short term, earlier surrender. So maybe even before 15 minutes, you can surrender earlier. LP mitigation, that's what we said. For those in ranked games that have an AFK or intend to lose behaviors, they lose less LP. Again, that's good for the rest of us who don't troll, don't AFK, don't in. But again, I would be very, they have to be careful with abuse cases in that. But I think it's overall good if they get it right. Stricter queue lockouts, so those that disconnect AFK. Hey, we've detected you're disconnecting from more games that you should. Hey, you're banned from ranked for a week. And what should maybe be, and let me know what you think, we've detected you're leaving games a lot in ranked. We're not banning you. You just can't play ranked on that account. You have to play normal games for a week. And if we detect that your behavior has improved in normal games, we'll open ranked for you again. That could be it, and then pre-queue warnings for those that have disrupted games previously. That's a good one. It's a weird world we live in that a lot of toxic people do not think they're toxic. Even like AFKers and all these people, they will not see that they do anything wrong. So if they're queuing up and they have a warning going, hey, we've detected that you have quit games a lot. Are you sure you want to play ranked? And if you do it again, there will be consequences. Just letting them players know that, hey, we're watching you. We've detected bad stuff on your account. I think will go a long way and more than you think. Because I do think as we said, a lot of people who are toxic, they don't think they are, or they don't think what they're doing is necessarily wrong. There's a big group of players out there that believe this ranked game's a loss. Right, I'm AFKing, I'm leaving, see you later, goodbye. Those players exist. That's obviously not good because most games are still winnable, especially lower rating you go. But those players do exist, and they probably don't think they're doing much wrong, but obviously they are. But here we go. So we're looking for feedback from players on these implications. So we'll be doing them in live experimentation fashion as we did in Champion Select reporting. We don't have a hard date for delivery, blah, blah. So that probably will be North American and Korean testing again. Those seem to be the two servers that they use as the guinea pigs the most. Again, North America, unsurprisingly, because it's the dev server. But again, if they're looking for feedback, worth noting, Rioters may be watching this video, so if you do have a strong opinion about this stuff, do leave it in the comments, because Rioters will, and trust me, I know a bunch of them, they are hungry for feedback. Obviously Riot did get rid of their own official boards not long ago because it kind of became a bit of a mess. So they don't have an official way of collecting info on their own, so they will look to places like Reddit, even though it probably isn't the best place to go, but like these YouTube videos that are probably maybe a bit more, let's just say less emotional than Reddit may become sometimes. They may be watching this video and they may be in the comments looking for that feedback, so please do leave your opinions down below. But that's overall all good. I'd say they do have to be careful with LP mitigation because, again, it has to be careful for abuse cases, especially with pre-mates, because it's legit. I've got that friend who, you know, I wouldn't obviously do it, but, you know, my friend's been stuck in silver for ages. Right, I'll duo with you. I'll get a smurf. Oh, snap, this game is going bad. All right, I'll start inting so you can have the free remake or you can have the LP mitigation. So maybe in duo queues you have to disable it. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. Champion select reporting. So 2 patches ago, we launched champion select reporting and muting features. We've been able to gather significant data around disruptive behaviors in champion select and have seen success in giving players a preemptive way of avoiding verbal abuse in champion select, you know, in the game and everything. Rather than turning these features off after 2-patch experiment on as originally planned, we'll leave them on going forward. This, to me, I will say, probably shows that Riot may have underestimated how big of a problem it is in Champion Select for people to be toxic or trolling, like, I'm going to steal your role. So that's what it sounds like to me. Like, okay, we'll gather data for 2 patches, take it down, and then we'll put it back up when it's ready to go. They probably have had an insane amount of data. Like, they're saying we've got a significant amount of data. It's probably because they underestimated the problems that are in SOLOQ right now in terms of toxicity and people being generally annoying. In Champion Select and etc. So that doesn't surprise me, if I'm honest. The 2 biggest trends we saw in reports were players who champs were banned by their own teammates and reports of negative, so being toxic. Though we know these aren't all the issues, it's enough for us to start developing improvements based on our experiments. So this is a very good, interesting topic that technically, if I'm not mistaken, is not currently a reportable offense. You're in Champion Select, you hover Yasuo. Someone legitimately hates having Yasuo on their team. They ban Yasuo. Who's in the wrong? Who's in the right? Let me know down below. But technically, I don't think the person who bans Yasuo, I don't technically think is able to be, like, punished. I don't think. Again, that might change, but it's because, again, the ban system is currently designed that every single player gets a ban and you can use your ban on whatever you want. And there are players, by the way, that exist that literally have hatred for certain champions in the game. So if you legitimately have hatred for Yasuo or Yuumi or Yi and you ban that champion every single game, it's not because someone hovered it, that's just your ban. Should you then be, you know, should you then not ban it if someone's hovering it? That's the point. It's a tricky situation. So ban confirmation and detection. We understand that there's a strategic value and personal preference for certain bans, and we want to maintain your ability to pick which champ you don't want to play against. So ban whatever you want. Based on report data, though, we want to make it clearer when you ban choices overlap with the teammate wants to play. We'll be implementing better automated detection to double check that you actually want to ban that champion. So basically, someone's hovering Yasuo. I want to ban Yasuo. The game might literally go, some of you, you know, your teammate really wants to play this champion. They're hovering. Are you sure you want to ban this champion? You click yes. Another pop-up goes, are you sure? Like double click yes, basically. Maybe it needs to be, but honestly, I don't think it really changing because, again, genuinely, there are people that don't want to play against certain champs. So they're going to keep banning them. The end of. Or some people op.gg their own teammates in Champion Select. You've got that again. We're going to use Yasuo as the example. No offense if you are a Yasuo player. This guy's hovering Yasuo, played 50 games of Yasuo, has got a 10% win rate. Clearly, you don't probably want that teammate to play Yasuo. It's a disadvantage to have him on Yasuo. You ban it. He doesn't play it. He trolls. Who's in the wrong? Who's in the right? He's got a 10% win rate on Yasuo in 50 games, so you got rid of that choice. That's also part of the problem, is like there's no right or wrong. It's difficult. Penalty system integration. Though we can't confidently act on behaviors directly in Champion Select just yet, we are looking to find and implement the blah, blah, blah. So they're saying all the reports that we're collecting are currently not leading to any punishments, but keep doing it because we're collecting all the data to eventually do it. And then here, with each experiment we run, your feedback and experience with these new features helps guide the direction of League's behavior systems. Thanks for sticking with us, and we work to make League a better place. So all I'll say, my feedback is it's good. I like pretty much everything that they've said. There's nothing that I'm like, eh. Everything I like. It's just nice to hear Riot talk about this because, you know, they're talking about it more now. But there have been times, you know, a couple of years ago that we heard nothing. So it's lovely to hear that things are changing. And it does, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but it does kind of feel with what's happening in the community as a whole, that, you know, there are content creators being removed from League Partner because of toxicity and all that. It may be finally the time that the game is trying to be better, that maybe toxicity isn't the way to play League, and the community and Riot is now actively trying to do something about it. It may be too far gone because it's a 10-year-old game and the community is very integrated in terms of toxicity, I think. But it is nice that things are happening to try to counter that. So let me know what you think down below. Are you happy that they're doing it? Let me know what you actually think about the changes of these two key areas that they spoke about this video. And I'll be interested to know. So again, Rioters, maybe watching this video, maybe down in the comments, reading that feedback that they have said they need to collect. So do give your opinion. It is important. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.